Before famous mansions such as Casa Loma loomed over the city of Toronto, there was another castle that claimed the title of the area's largest residence. Hi everyone, Ken here. Today we are uncovering the lost Benvenuto. Hit that subscribe button and let's explore this house. In the 1880s, Toronto was experiencing a major economic boom. The city's population had nearly tripled over the previous decades as jobs and industry rapidly excelled. During this time, the city looked to the future, incorporating the latest technology into urban planning, including running both electric and telephone lines, paving the streets with asphalt, and introducing trolleys to carry residents all over town. It was in this environment that wealthy landowner and real estate developer Simeon Janes set out to build his dream house. He chose a prime lot along Avenue Road at the intersection of modern-day Edmund Road, where the hill jutted up just high enough to offer sweeping views of the city. At the base of his property, other wealthy barons of Canadian industry were building their stately residences, but the type of house Simeon had in mind would overshadow them in every way. He hired A. Page Brown, an American architect, to design for him a sprawling Richardsonian Romanesque mansion to appear as a castle on the hill, visible from downtown Toronto with uninterrupted views. The house was built from thick, rusticated limestone blocks and topped off by a fiery red clay tile roof. All about the property, the same rusticated limestone was used to create retaining walls, guest houses, and gatehouses. The gate was intricately crafted from wrought iron and illuminated by an electric lantern, welcoming guests to the property. Despite the estate's perfectly manicured gardens and imposing stone facade, the idea of being welcoming was very important to Simeon, who named his estate Benvenuto, which literally means welcome in Italian. As we make our way back up to the house, noticing the veranda sweeping out between towers, it's important to mention the house's subsequent owner, Sir William Mackenzie. William was a railroad magnate who had built Canada's second transcontinental railroad. In doing so, he not only amassed one of Canada's greatest fortunes, but for his efforts and dedication to Canada's infrastructure, he was knighted, earning him the title Sir. Even though Benvenuto was still among the largest homes in Toronto, Sir William Mackenzie had it greatly enlarged, adding this hulking section to the rear of the mansion. And staying true to the estate's namesake, he kept Benvenuto a welcoming place, hosting lavish garden parties and costume balls. Guests could be found dancing and socializing, or even on one occasion, sitting down with a fortune teller, as mysticism was all the rage in that day. Though admittedly, we did not come to the mansion for a garden party, we came here to explore the interior. Entering the house, we pass through the vestibule to arrive in the hall, where the grand staircase competes for attention against marble statues and paintings by the greats. The fireplace mantel, carved from a single piece of limestone, welcomes guests with warmth, almost overshadowing Persian rugs and a lion's skin. For the most part, the hall will feed us into each public room, starting with the music room, where we can imagine Toronto's foremost musicians performing live for parties each weekend. This leads us into the drawing room, where silk damask covers the walls and gilded plasterwork glistens on the ceiling. Just beyond the passageway, we see the fireplace in the hall where we first entered, and now that we have our bearings, we'll turn around to discover the dining room, which is clad in rich wood paneling and has been covered over by centuries-old tapestries. Though more impressive yet was the collection of ancient entablatures and architectural salvage proudly displayed on the walls of the conservatory, a warm and humid room where the fountain misted tropical plants year-round. And though the collections were nice, each owner of the house could usually be found in the billiards room, entertaining in the true spirit of the home. When Benvenuto was built back in the 1880s, it was arguably the largest house ever built in the Toronto area. But as the 1900s progressed, the city saw homes of unimaginable scale constructed, including both Casa Loma and Chorley Park, which I'll have linked at the end of this video. That being said, by the time of Sir Mackenzie's passing in 1923, the house, still large by comparison to most, was viewed mostly as outdated. It sat empty for the better part of a decade, with maintenance being ignored until it was demolished in 1932. In its place, Edmund Street was planned to run through the former estate, and a hotel, which was later converted into condos, was built on another section of the property. This particular spot in Toronto bore witness to the age of the city's rapid industrialization from a vantage point perched high up on a hill whose only reminder of that time is the rusticated limestone retaining wall of Benvenuto. And with that, I'll turn it over to you. What did you think about this estate? Did you have a favorite room or architectural feature? Let me know down below in the comments section. And while you're there, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.